Hi guys, Carla here. Thanks for joining my Pilates workout. Today we will start with a couple of mobility exercises just to get the muscles warmed up, and then we will move on to the main workout. Okay, let's get going. So the first mobility movement that we're going to do is called a pigeon stretch. Now there are many variations of this movement, so you can do whichever one feels good for you. Okay, I'm going to show you my version. So we're going to start in a push-up position, and then we're going to bring our right leg in. Then we're going to place that left knee down and just gently scooch that leg backwards. Okay, you can drop your chest to the ground a little bit just to intensify the stretch. So what you should be feeling is a nice stretch in your hip and your glute on the right hand side. And then we're just going to hold it there for a couple of seconds. You can play around with the position of your chest. You can go a little bit in a diagonal direction. You can either even go all the way down. So you just go in a range that's the most comfortable for you. Hold it there for a couple of seconds. And then we're going to switch our legs. So step back, bring your left leg in, scooch back a little bit. Obviously mobility depending, some people can get this foot a lot higher. Okay, so if you can't, that's 100%, you still get a nice stretch. And then down, and hold a little bit. What you can also do is you can roll your hip to the outside a little bit. Usually that also intensifies the stretch, and you feel it a little bit deeper in your hip and your glute on the left hand side. Hold for a couple of seconds. Okay, and then switch. If you have a side that is obviously tighter than the other side, you can do one or two more on that side. Okay, and then we're going to switch one more time to the other side. And back up. Okay, now the next movement we're going to do is also a very nice hip opener type of exercise. So you're going to start by sitting with your right leg at a 90-degree angle to the front. Then your left leg is also going to be at a 90-degree angle but to the back. Okay, then you can place your hands kind of at the back. Now what I want you to do is we're going to change in a 180-degree fashion. So heels down into the ground, switch over, and then really try and press both knees, especially this trailing leg. Press that knee into the ground and even try to squeeze your glute here, because automatically when you squeeze your glute, it's going to open up the front hip just so much more. So squeeze a little bit, and then we switch over again. So heels down, squeeze. Okay, so we're just going to alternate a couple of times between these two positions. Again, if you have a side that's a bit tighter, like my right side tends to be tighter, so you can hold it a little bit longer on that side, or you can do a little bit more shifts only over to the one side. Okay, shift over again. You can move your hands to wherever you feel comfortable. Don't get stuck in a position. Okay, shifting over again. Okay, now we're going to go back to our starting position. 90 degrees to the front, 90 degrees to the back. Hands down, and then what I want you to do, keeping your back nice and straight, you're going to lean forwards. So try and push both knees into the mat, and just gently lean forward, and hold there. So you'll feel, the further you go forward, the more you're going to feel the stretch in your right hip glute area. Here, we're going into internal rotation, so you might also feel something here at the back, which is completely normal. And switching over to the other side. So again, just readjust, make sure everything is nice and in place, 90 to the back, 90 to the front, and then from here, leaning forward. Okay, let's do one more on each side. So 90, 90, leaning nice and forward. Again, if you want to, you can play around with the position of your torso. If you want to bend a little bit away or towards the knee, or you can just go straight forward. And then last one, other side. Okay, just realign and down. And up. Good. Now we're going to do a very nice one for the back, just to get your back muscles loosened up a little bit, especially on the side. So the muscle connecting your ribs and your hip bones together tends to get very tight, especially when you sit for long periods of time. Sometimes you get spasm in your lower back. So it's very nice to stretch out that muscle to release it a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is on all fours. So we're going to do our typical cat stretch, but we're going to do it with a twist. So instead of doing it with your feet facing backwards, so this is your normal cat stretch, pushing the floor away, and then you can shift backwards a little bit. But what I want you to do is turn your feet, so still keep your knees and your ankles in line, but you're just turning your feet away from you. So in like a 45-degree angle. Okay, so what we do essentially now is we're opening up this hip here, right? Because when I'm here, it's shortened on the side, but now, as soon as I shift my hip away, so like there, now I'm lengthening this muscle here. So you're just going to get a nicer effect of the stretch. All right. So, wrist under, depressed shoulders, meaning shoulders down. Then we're going to inhale. As you exhale, round your shoulders, push the floor away. Now, while keeping this curl, shift your hips directly back. So you'll feel the further you go back, the more you're going to stretch here on the right side, which is exactly where we wanted to stretch. Inhale, exhale, all the way up. Okay, now we're going to switch our legs. Just make sure that your ankles and your knees are lined up. Right. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Push the floor away. Tuck your chin. And then from there, sit straight back. Don't go with your hips towards your heels. Go in a straight direction backwards. Hold it there for a couple of seconds. Inhale. Exhale. All the way back. Okay, let's do a couple more. Inhale, exhale, push the floor away. Shift your hips back. Make sure you keep that C curl. So keep the stomach pulled in. Exhale. And one more time on the other side. Realign ankles and the knees. Inhale, exhale. And shift back. Inhale at the back, exhale, and all the way to the middle. Great. Okay, now we're nice and warmed up. So we're going to turn onto our backs. Okay, so the first movement is going to start in a tabletop. So both knees are up. And then drawing your shoulder blades down to the mat, tilt your pelvis. So by that I mean flatten your lower back against the mat, and then try and lift your tailbone off the ground. Okay, so here at the back, lift up gently. That's just going to activate your deeper abdominals so much more. Okay, so all we're going to start with is alternating leg drops. So I want you to try and synchronize your breathing with the movement. So each time that you drop your leg, you exhale. So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Make sure you keep your shoulders back. It's very easy as we continue to let the shoulders creep up. So make sure shoulder blades stay connected to the ground. Okay, if you find this movement challenging, you can stick to this variation. If you want to try the harder one, we're going to drop right leg down, followed by the left, right up, left. So drop, drop, up, up. You have to make sure that you keep your abdominal connection the whole time, because it's very easy, especially when you bring your second leg down, that you want to lose your connection and the pelvis wants to go with. So we're not putting the feet down, down. It's just a gentle tap, tap, lift, lift, tap, tap, up, up. Okay, a couple more on this side. Okay, now we're going to switch our legs. One more. And relax both down. Okay, now we're going to place ankles and knees together. So you basically connect your inner thighs. We're going to tilt our pelvis. So by that, I mean flatten the lower back, get your hip bones towards you. So try and connect your hips and your ribs. That's essentially then what you do. Pull your stomach tight. Now we hold that position. Then we roll up. So here, I squeeze my glutes. Roll up, up, up. And connect your inner thighs. So try and squeeze your glutes and your inner thighs nice and hard. Then we're going to reverse the movement. So now we take our hips down first and then the pelvis. Okay, so we go again. Connect your inner thighs, tilt your pelvis, squeeze your glutes, and lift. Stomach tight, and roll all the way down. Okay, and up again. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs, and down. Okay, we're going to do another 2 like this, then we're going to change it. Roll, up, squeeze, down. Okay, last one, up, roll, all the way back down. Okay, now we're going to roll up into our bridge. So when you get here, just reset and make sure that everything is how it should be. So we're not going to be up here, that's too high. You have to be in a little bit of a bow like shape. Okay, so drop here, squeeze your glutes, tailbone again tucked, and pubic bone facing up to the ceiling. And then all we're going to do is we're going to bring our right knee up, down, up, down, and then roll down. Okay, then we're going to go up again. So this time you don't have to have your knees and ankles together. You can have your heels more or less in line with your sitting bones. Okay, so like more or less a gap like that between your feet. Okay, so tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes up, and then from here, exhale, Inhale, exhale. Okay, so we exhale up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, down. Okay, go again. Okay, one more time. And down. Right, now we're going to go into our tabletop position again. This time, knees and ankles connected. Then, we're going to lift our shoulder blades off the ground. More or less here. Place your hands on the side of your left knee and straighten your right knee. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to switch, 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 switch. So each time you switch, you exhale. Okay, so the tailbone is lifted and the shoulder blades are lifted. Just a couple more. And relax. Okay. Now we're going to do something similar. So the legs are still going to move in the same fashion, but we're going to add a bit of a rotation in the upper body. In this way, we're going to target not only the deep abdominals, but also your oblique muscles, which are on the side. So the muscles responsible for a nice waistline. Okay, so both legs up. This one is straight. Hand behind your head. Twist to the opposite knee and press on the inside. Switch, switch. So each time I'm pressing into that knee, and again exhale on the movement. And relax. Okay, now we're going to turn onto our side. So on the right side, elbow more or less in line with the shoulder, knees bent, and your feet connected. So the top leg, that foot is planted, and the back foot is kind of in the nook of the front foot. Okay, so we're going to inhale here. As you exhale, you lift, so you press through your elbow, through your feet. Lift the hip and the knee up. This hand can stabilize here and down. So inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale. If it's too difficult for you to lift your knee up, you can keep your knee on the ground and then lower down. Okay, so up and lift and lower. Another two on this side and down. One more time and down. Good. Okay, so now we're going to switch over to the other side. Okay, get your feet connected, elbow in the right place, and lift and lower, lift and down and down, lower, okay, just a couple more here. Okay, let's do a last one. and down. Okay, and there we go. Thanks for joining me. I hope you feel nice and worked and the stomach muscles nice and activated, and I'll see you next time.